it's time. Hey guys, what's up? It's Allison, and if you are here, you are probably here for my House of Sky and Breath reading vlog, and welcome to all of you guys. This video has been put off for so long just because I have been so nervous to read this book, and it's just so long and intimidating, and I really didn't want to read it, I guess. I wanted to read it because I was super excited to read it, and I know that, like, there's a lot of plot twists and crazy things that happen, but also, I don't know, the book's just so long. It's like 700 pages or something like that, almost 800 pages. So anyways, this is going to be a spoiler reading vlog, for you guys, and if you guys have not read this book yet, I don't recommend watching this video, but for you guys that haven't read the book, I do have a House of Earth and Blood no spoiler reading vlog. If you guys want to check that out, it's the first book of this series. Let's just get straight into it. I have already read some of it because I wanted to film this intro a couple days ago and I just haven't got to it, and I'm a little bit far into it, so I will update you guys in a second, change the scenery a little bit, and we will get the show on the road. Okay guys, so I wanted to give you guys a little update on the book just because I'm literally on chapter 16. So I haven't literally told you anything about the book, and I'm already 16 chapters in. But anyways, so the beginning of the book is starts off with two characters that we don't really know about. It's the prologue, so it talks about Sophie and Emil, I think is his name, and their brother and sister, and they are both what they call Thunderbirds, I think. So they have some really rare type of power, and basically they're like legends. And Sophie has been trying to find Emil because they're both rebels. So Sophie has been trying to find Emil because they got split up, their parents got killed, and he is basically with all of these children. I think the Ophion is what they're called. They're the rebels, I think. They're wanting to use him as a weapon to fight against the Asteri. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like, I'm sure you do if you've read the first book. But anyways, so we talk about them, and basically, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but Sophie ends up getting caught by the Hind, and she drowns at the bottom of the river or ocean or whatever, and they put like lead blocks so that she can't get back up. Okay, so fast forward to now, and you know, we're back with Bryce and Hunt. They are, you know, trying to stay under the radar because they obviously killed Micah and Sandriel in the first book. So the Asteri and the whole higher ups are telling them to stay low, or lay low with Bryce's new starborn powers or whatever, and they won't kill him, basically, for what they did. So they're kind of trying to lay low, live a normal life, and then we get Therian, which is Mare, so he's basically a mermaid, and the River Queen is basically telling him to find Emil or Sophie because they have, you know, crazy powers that everybody wants to use. So Therian locates where Sophie was drowned in the beginning of the book, and lead blocks are still at the bottom, but the shackles are all unlocked and everything. So they're thinking either somebody took her or she must have escaped or whatever. So what does this have to do with Bryce and Hunt? Well, Tharian finds out that Danica from the first book exchanged some emails with Sophie and basically gave her insight onto a secret hiding place. So Bryce just wants to basically get into this little mystery, try to solve where they are, if they're alive, and where this mystery place was, and how did she know Danica, and what secrets did Danica have with that? Was she working with the rebels? Blah, blah, blah. We have Bryce being in a, like, type of arranged marriage by the Autumn King, her biological dad. And so he wants her to get with Cormac, which is an Avalon Fae, and kind of create a little alliance with the Avalon Fae, because they're Valbaran, I think. Don't really know the difference, but anyways. So he wants them to create an alliance. We found out that Cormac actually is secretly a rebel, and he had a thing for Sophie in the beginning of the book. So we found out that Cormac is the Agent Silverbow that they talk about in the beginning of the book. I know that's a lot, but that's what I've learned so far. So these updates probably won't be like this, because I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm reading as I'm reading it, but that's where we're at right now. I know that was kind of like scattered a lot. And what else? Bryce and Hunt aren't really in a relationship. I mean, they're in a relationship, but they're not having, they're not being intimate with each other because they want to get to know each other first, blah, 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 whatever. Right now, I'm really, really enjoying the book. I'm only on part 1 right now, but I really, really love how they're bringing all of the different characters in. Right now, we're really focusing on Tharian, the mermaid guy, Bryce, Hunt, Ethan, which is the werewolf guy, Cormac, Run, which is her brother. I don't know. I just really like all the different types of different characters, the different veneer, which are the supernatural or whatever. Yeah, I'm really liking it, and I really like that we have another mystery that we're trying to solve, because we did have that in the first book. And so they're kind of sticking with that theme, and I really, really enjoy it. So I'm going to read a little bit more, and I will actually update you while I'm reading. But I just kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. So we'll see. I'm going to keep reading and let you guys know what I think. Hey guys, so a little update for you. I'm on page 214, so not that, like, much deeper into the book since the last time I spoke to you, but we now have Cormac and Run Cormac's trying to form an alliance with Run because he can mind speak or whatever, and they're bringing up this Agent Daylight character, and I think I've gotten a little bit of spoilers from the book, which I didn't really want to happen, but Bloomsbury posted, like, something on their Instagram about Crescent City 3, and it spoiled up some things for, like, everybody, and it was a huge thing. But anyways, my take is that I think that Agent Daybreak is Danica. That's what I think, because they don't know who it is. It could be somebody close to the Asteri, which she's not, but, like, I know that Danica's gonna end up being alive in this book because I literally knew the spoilers, but I have a feeling that's how she ties in. So I guess we'll see if I'm right. I'm literally not even on part 2 yet, so that might not be actually a thing, but we'll see. So I wanted to give a little update on the book. I'm on page 296, which still isn't very far at all. But I'm on part 2 now, which was the Abyss, I think. And basically what's happening right now is Hunt got contacted by the Underking, I think. And I don't know. I'm kind of confused about all of this, but basically, I think his name is, I can't remember his actual name, but it starts with an A. um, Avalion, I don't know. But he thinks that Bryce is a match for he wants to battle her for some sort of reason. I don't really understand that. Or he thinks that there's going to come a point where they're going to battle. I don't know what that has to do with anything, what that has to do with what's actually going on. I don't really understand that. But basically, so Hunt got contacted about it. He came to him in like a dream or something like that. And then the next day or so, Bryce and Run were on their way to do like a little practice, like some battle practice or something like that. And a Reaper pulled Run into the sewer drain, and they said that they had a message from the Prince of Hell or Prince of the Pit or whatever, which that's Avalion, I think. And, we're, kind of messing with him. I don't know if they were going to kill him or hurt him or whatever. And then Bryce came out. She got the Star Sword, which is Run's Star Sword, but she picked it up because he dropped it. And, basically scared them away. Did she kill one of them? I don't know. But Reapers can't be killed, so basically they're thinking that when she wields the sword, she can kill the unkillable. And then Cormac has teleportation abilities that they found out about, and he's going to try to teach Bryce that. But they're looking kind of at how the Reapers tied into the whole situation, and they're checking the cameras and stuff to see like where they came from and if the Prince of the Pit actually sent them. And now Bryce is going to go tomorrow and go to the Bone Quarter and basically speak to the Prince of the Pit with Hunt. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's where I'm at right now. Still not far at all, but yeah. Okay, so I just finished, I think I'm on chapter 30, but I just wanted to make a little note of the video that I had recorded earlier. I think it's the video right before this one. The Underking and the Prince of the Pit are not the same person. I thought they were. They are not the same person. So basically, Bryce went to go question the Underking, which is the leader of the Bone Quarter, and that is where the people that die go. And the Prince of the Pit is the one of the princes of hell. So I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm confusing anybody, but if you already read the book, I'm sure you know everything about it. I just have a hard time grasping some concepts in here because there's so much to learn. But I understand what's going on now. I get it. Don't worry, guys. So I'm on chapter 33 of the book, and basically Bryce and Hunt were at the Bone Quarter, and they found out that the Underking basically feasts on the dead people's souls after they are, forgotten by people, and like people don't speak of them anymore. He basically feasts on their souls. So that's what everybody awaits for in death. And then come to find out he wanted to feast on Bryce's soul. So there was a whole battle scene that came out, and she basically siphoned power with the Star Sword, and Hunt can siphon power from the Bone Quarter gates and stuff like that. It was a really cool scene. I really liked it. So they're thinking that Apollyon, which is the Prince of the Pit, set them up to go to the Bone Quarter so that he could show them just what their magic can do and how they can like work together, basically. What else? So yeah, they just got done with that battle. Really cool. I really liked it. And then on the other perspective, Ron and Cormac went to go deliver some intel to a spy or something like that, and they ran into Murdoch, I think, and he is a bloodhound. There's so many different types of things, but he's a bloodhound. He works for the Asteri, and we found out that that was Danica's father, which was kind of neat. And then we find out that the Hind and the Harpy are in town, so they think that maybe they're trying to find Sophie and Emil. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I literally had to look up so much stuff because there's so many different H names. Basically, it's just a race to see who finds them first, and that's what's happening right now. I know I've been talking a lot about the plot of the book, but I'm really liking how this book, I think the first book was mostly between Bryce and Hunt's perspective, but this book is like literally everybody's perspective. It goes from Ron to Bryce to Hunt to Ethan to, and it just kind of skips between scenes and stuff like that, and I really, really, really like that. And I'm also really liking that we are finding out what Bryce is capable of, and I think she's capable of a lot more than they all think, as well as Hunt. And I feel like they have some, special, like, team working abilities. I don't know. And they also declared themselves as mates. So they're basically, like, together forever. So I'm going to continue reading, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I read another little bit of the book. It was a whole big thing that happened. So Ophion wanted to track down these, I think they're called mecha suits or something like that. That's what the Veneer used, basically, to make them, like, unstoppable. They have all these prototypes, and the whole gang was gonna go to Ophion or whatever, their little stomping grounds, and intercept the suits from the Veneer. So they came into possession of the suits, and they realized that Pimp Asbestos, which is the leader of the Ophion rebellion or whatever, does not have, like, the best interest at heart, and she's just going to kill, like, all of the Veneer. Doesn't matter if they're allies with her or not. She's just going to kill all of the magical beings, I guess. And so Hunt said, screw this, we're not doing this, we're not helping you guys anymore, blew up the suit with his lightning, and then they had to run away. Okay, so the whole group kind of ran into the water and ran away, and then Asteri, all the people from there, the Hind and the Harpy and all of them, came to kind of go find out who was. They had a suspicion that Hunt, Bryce, Cormac, all of these people were, like, working with the rebels. So basically they caught them. They're trying to chase them on the water. Ophion's trying to catch them. So they're basically being teamed from both sides. And all of a sudden, like, it was like they were basically, the Hind caught them. She found out who was behind it. She found out that it was Bryce and Hunt and whatever, and they were going to go after them. But then all of a sudden, the ocean people, the mayor of the ocean, intercepted them and basically helped them to safety, hid them in, like, this sort of cave or whatever. And they've got all of this technology, all of these, and we haven't really learned about the ocean people. Therian is a river mermaid or whatever, so we haven't really talked about the ocean people, and they have, like, a whole city in the deep of the ocean. So anyway, that's a lot, but I just wanted to update you guys, and that's where we're at right now. And they're kind of hiding away, waiting until the Asteri, or the people that work for the Asteri, kind of go away so that they can resurface. So basically it's a big, huge thing. Everybody knows what they're doing. They've become kind of compromised. So they're going to be in big trouble. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if a war is going to break out. I really don't know. So I guess we'll see. I think this is like the turning point where something really big is going to happen. So I'm excited to see what happens. I'll update you. So we are nearing the end of the book, and I thought that I would just actually sit down and tell you guys what's been happening, because it's been, I know it doesn't seem like it's been a long time, but it has been a long time since I last updated you guys. I am currently on page 643, chapter 60, and I'm trying to remember where I last updated you guys, but so basically we find out that Sophie is definitely dead. They found her body, whatever. And then we find out a little shocker that Bryce has known, like, basically all along where Emil has been, because she made a deal with the Viper Queen, who is the leader of the meat market, to track him down. And basically she just owes the Viper Queen a favor. And so Emil has no powers. It was like a thing that Sophie made up, that he had powers so that people would, like, try to find him, I guess. We still don't know how Danica is really involved with the whole situation. I think all we know is that she was trying to get Sophie to find out some information that Danica needed. Okay, stay with me here. So Emil is safe. Bryce sent him to live with her parents, her mom and her stepdad, and he is under a new name, and he's basically her stepbrother now. So they took him in, they adopted him. So then there was an attack. There were 2 demons that came through the threshold into Crescent City, I guess, Lunathion or whatever. And they tried to attack Hypoxia, which is Run's fiance. She's like a witch queen, and Bryce, and they, basically, they defeated them. Bryce learned that she could teleport, which a big surprise. And so the demons are definitely trying to get through the portal for some reason. Those are the demons from Apollyon, I think that's his name. So he's definitely trying to fight Bryce, I think, and Hunt. And what else? So right now, Run, he has that kind of like, he's been communicating with Agent Daybreak about the whole rebel cause, which they've kind of like stopped that plot line for now, because Emil's been found. Nobody really knows that except for Bryce, Hunt, and Therian. But anyway, so Run is still talking to Agent Daybreak. They kind of have a little romance sparking, but he doesn't know who Agent Daybreak actually is, and she doesn't know who he is, because it's like a mind communication thing that they've got going on. So he kind of proposes that they meet each other at this ball. I think it's the Dead Festival. I don't fudging know. But it's basically to celebrate Celestina and Ephraim's mating ceremony. So he sparks up the idea, hey, why don't we meet each other at this ceremony, see each other, whatever. So he's finally going to find out who she actually is. And I just left off basically on this part where he is at the meeting place that they're supposed to be meeting at, and the harpy is right by the fountain. I don't know if she is Agent Daybreak. I think I kind of got it a little spoiled, so I have a little bit of an idea who Agent Daybreak is, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's the harpy. I think that that's like just a little thing to kind of confuse us. So I'm gonna keep reading and see what happens. We're on part 3 right now. I'm like 78% through the book, so we'll definitely see what happens. I'm really excited. Also, Bryce and Hunt are officially mated. So, and everybody knows it. She publicly declared it, even kind of to get back at her dad a little bit, because he has been kind of controlling her. There's a lot of stuff that's happened, and I should have updated sooner, but I was just so into it that I didn't even stop to update. But I hope that all makes sense. I know it's a lot, but anyways, so I'm gonna continue to read. I know that there's something big that really happens at the end of the book, and I'm really excited to see what it is. I think I might have a little bit of an idea, but maybe not. I don't know. So we'll see. Love all of the perspectives. I love Bryce and Hunt. This is definitely gonna be a 5-star read for me, and I already knew that before I read the book, because I love Sarah J. Maas's writing. So I'm gonna keep reading, and we'll see where that goes. So I'm currently on page 693, and we do have a lot of updates. Stuff. Apollyon talked to Bryce, said, you know, let us use your horn so we can, you know, close up the gap between Crescent City or Lunathion and Hell, so that they could fight in this war that's brewing with the rebels. And so she talked to Apollyon. Meanwhile, while Ethan was trying to summon his brother from the dead and like talk to him, him and Hypoxia accidentally summoned the Underking instead, and they had a little brawl with him. And then now we're at this point where they are at Urd's temple. I don't know who Urd is. I don't know who any of those gods and goddesses are. Like, I don't get the difference. But they were at Urd's temple. The Underking told them to meet him there. They met him there. He was just a projection. He was a distraction for Ophion, the rebels, to get there and basically try to shoot all of them up. Hunt, Bryce, Hypoxia, and Run are the 4 that are there, because they obviously blew up their mecha suits or mech suits or whatever and kind of betrayed them. So Bryce is trying to teleport them all out of there. She's running out of power, and her and Hunt are the ones left in the temple. And I think that the Hind and Pollux are there as well. And they're trying to kill off some rebels. So I don't really know whose side Bryce and Hunt are on. I don't think they like what the rebels are doing, how they're doing it, but I think that they want freedom. So anyway, I also think the Hind is Agent Daybreak. Because Run did not get to see her, but she saw him. So I think it's the Hind. But yeah, so right now we're in the middle of an intense scene of them trying to get out of the temple. So I'll update you when I figure out something else big. And I hope that all made sense. So there you go. Oh, and we found out at Celestina's and Ephraim's mating ceremony that Celestina actually is with Hypoxia. They are in love. So Bryce and Hunt are the only ones that know that. They caught them in the closet. All right, there you go. Okay, and now we just found out that Baxian has been helping them so much because he just helped them escape the temple. He's been helping them so much because he was Danica's mate. That's nuts. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when they found Sophie Renas or whatever, they found like a number and letter pattern, like kind of drilled into her arm or whatever. Like she put that pattern in her arm before she died. So we finally found out that that pattern, Danica found out that was a pattern of the Asteri in one of their ancient like chambers or archives or something. And there's something really mind-boggling, something really like world-changing in that room. So Danica always wanted to go in there, but she couldn't because she knew she'd be recognized by the Asteri. So she set Sophie up to do it. And Danica died before she knew it was in the room, but Sophie did go into the room. And so that's the big secret that she had, that she took with her to her death, and that's why the Asteri were coming after her. We don't know what the room is full of yet. I'm trying to think of what else. So that's what they're trying to figure out, basically, is what is in that room, because that's kind of the big thing. We also know that Danica was researching family trees and different shifter and fae family trees to see like what they originated from, so that she could see what people were like when they were freed before the Asteri showed up and became like the government. So I think she did kind of work for the rebels. So I don't know, but I'm gonna try to finish this tonight. It's 100 pages, so that might be a little difficult for me, but I'm gonna try to get a big chunk of it done tonight and let you know what happens. Oh, and also I did want to mention that now they are going to the Eternal City to try to get in that room. Everybody, the whole gang is gonna try to break in and get into that room. So that's where we're. Finished House of Sky and Breath last night. Couldn't believe I did it, but that book was absolutely insane. That ending was absolutely nuts. I think I told you guys that Bryce found out that the Asteri was basically feeding off of everybody's first light, but she also found out that basically there's a whole map of worlds and territories that these people, the Asteri have been to, and they've been like conquering these places, like basically killed all these people, you know, took all of their first light and second light. Okay, so that area is conquered, blah blah blah. But there was a couple areas that haven't been conquered, and that they kind of like, okay, so like hell. That was a world that they didn't conquer because hell, basically it was like fighting back. They found out that they were feeding off the first light, and that's why Apollyon was kind of warning Bryce about everything, saying that there was a war that was going to brew, and hell followed them to Midgard, which is where they are now. So basically they took different populations from different places, moved them to Midgard, and kind of convinced these people to be under them, and to feed on their first light, even though nobody knew that they were feeding on their first light. But they just kind of, basically, they thought that the Asteri were like the all-powerful, so they're gonna move wherever the Asteri wants them to move. If that makes any sense. Then Bryce, Hunt, and Run get captured because they get caught, and we find out that the Hind is Agent Daybreak, which I knew that. I definitely knew that. But she's like on their side, kind of working for them, like secretly. So then Regalius, who is like the main one of the Asteri, is trying to basically tell Bryce that, hey, I'm gonna kill Hunt and Run, or put them in the dungeon or whatever. But I'm gonna have you open the gates to Midgard, because basically what happened in the past was her ancestors closed all of those gates, so they cannot leave Midgard to go find and conquer other territories. So he told her that he's gonna use her to open the gates because she has the horn on her back. Okay. That doesn't happen. She runs. She blasts him in the face with her star power, and Hunt kind of uses his lightning power or whatever. She runs, and she's going to go run to go to hell, basically. Open a portal to hell. Go there, prepare their armies, and like actually fight these people. And she's under the impression that Hunt and Run are basically not going to make it. So anyways, she goes to the portal. Hunt and Run are put in the dungeon, and Regalius puts the halo back on Hunt. So basically he is the Asteri's property once again. So then basically Bryce enters this territory. She thinks she's in hell, but it's not really what she thinks it is. A guy with scarred hands. And I didn't realize any of this until literally the last sentence. I just watched Destiny Sidwell's reading vlog on this book, and I was like, how did she figure this out so quick? But there are so many connections. So a guy with leathery black wings finds her. They don't speak the same language. He doesn't know what she's saying. She goes into his house. A girl with like a bob shows up. She doesn't speak the language at all. Another girl comes in. Another guy comes in. And then two other people come in, and Bryce finds out that they are Fae. Like, she knows that they're Fae, but they're different. They have like different wings, whatever. It's Rysand and Feyre and Azriel and Nesta and Amren and all of the people from freaking Akatar. And that's where we leave off. I didn't even care about the epilogue at this point. That was a nuts ending. I don't know how the next book is going to pick up, but if she's working with the people from Akatar, like, that was just such a brilliant, crazy ending. And I thought that the ending was going to be that Danica was alive for some reason. No, this was 10 times better. So I'm really excited to see what happens with that. So basically, the Akatar people are in a different world than the Crescent City people. And I'm sure that they're going to work together somehow, because she was trying to find Adis, which is one of the princes of hell, but instead she found all of the people from Akatar. I just could not believe that's what that was. I really couldn't believe it. So all in all, 5 stars for the book. 6 stars if we're counting the ending. I think that was just an amazing reading experience. I really thought it was going to take me a lot longer to read. It did still take me like a week or 2, I don't know. But I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did enjoy watching me read and watching my reactions, because I think that's the craziest plot twist I've ever read, and I'm so excited to read the next one that comes out in January. I have no idea what it's going to entail, but I'm so excited for that. So if you guys liked this, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on the ending. I think that's just so nuts. I just can't even get over it. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.